Hi, it's Chrissy, and it is July, and July is National Cleft and Craniofacial Awareness Month. And so I just want to give you a little bit of information about, in particular, clefts, because that's my condition, although it is one of the craniofacial conditions. So here we go. Here's some facts about cleft lip and or palates. So it is one of the most common birth defects here in the United States. About 1 in 1,600 children are born with a cleft lip and palate. 1 in 2,800 are born with a cleft lip, and 1 in 1,700 are born with just a cleft palate. What do those numbers look like as a nation? And those are estimated to be about 2,651 children born with a cleft palate alone, and 4,437 with a cleft lip and or palate. So you're looking at about 7,000 births a year here in the United States. The causes of it are not entirely known. There are some genetic conditions that are associated with cleft lip and or palate, but there are also a lot of unknowns about it. There are some things that they believe are associated with it, like medication, diabetes, drinking, smoking, but none of those are directly linked to it. So I wanted to find out a little bit about what does it actually cost to be born with a cleft lip and palate in terms of medical cost. And the data is really weak on this. The best data I came across was close to 30 years old. So in 1988, they used data from 1988 medical costs, $101,000. I found something that was slightly more recent, 1994, also almost 30 years old. And at that time, the average cost was about $92,000, but the range was $29,000 to $250,000. And that is in 1994. Fast forward 30 years, and we have a whole new set of issues because a lot of these kids around my age, where we had some of these early surgeries, are having a second round of surgeries as adults, which is incurring additional medical costs that probably were not factored in or even aware of back in 1988 and 1994. I mean, I could be wrong, but most of that data that I looked at was coming from childhood surgeries, which is obviously the most common. And, you know, in fairness, not every adult who's had a cleft lip and or palate is having additional surgeries as an adult. And I can tell you from experience and from talking to others that these surgeries are not always successful. There are failure rates with things like bone grafts. Does not seem to be uncommon, which means you could go in for one surgery and have 2 or 3 to do the same thing and maybe never get the result that you were looking for. And that is just direct costs. There are a lot of other costs associated with other needs that children will have, and I will be talking about that in another video. So thank you for listening, and thank you for all your support during Cleft and Craniofacial Awareness Month. Thanks.